Hello everyone, and welcome to Mr. Simplifies Tutorials. In this video we're going to look at Sheldon's Personality Theory, also called the Sheldon's Body Type Theory. Now, a bit of introduction. Now, we all know that many people tend to judge other people or even draw conclusions on other people's personalities based on how they look. Human beings do have a natural tendency, I'm sure you'd all agree, to label people at times based merely on a quick glance, based merely on their looks. At the same time, we do all know that people cannot and should not be judged based on how they look, because that would be like judging a book by its cover. Nevertheless, an American psychologist, William Sheldon, made some interesting observations worth looking at. Now, what is Sheldon's theory? So, Sheldon as a person, firstly, took pride in being an observer of people. And he basically categorized people based on their body types. He believed people with different body types have different personalities. These categories are also called as somatotypes by Sheldon. And he basically believed that there are three different somatotypes or categories of body types. And these are ectomorph, endomorph, and mesomorph. So what are these three types? Let's take a look. So an ectomorph body type is basically a thin body type. Ectomorphs have narrow shoulders, thin legs and arms, and a narrow face. So you can basically imagine a slender frame in a tall person's body. And Sheldon believed that such people have very introverted personalities with little or no social skills. They're anxious, they're private, they're quiet individuals, but they can also be artistic and thoughtful at the same time. Quite interesting. The second type is endomorph, which is sort of like the opposite of ectomorph. Now, these people have naturally large or rounded bodies. They've got wide hips, narrow shoulders, a high amount of body fat, especially in the arms and legs area. And I think you get a drift of the type of body that I'm talking about here. And according to Sheldon, their personality is quite outgoing and relaxed. They're normally quite tolerant. They're very fun-loving people with a good sense of humor. Now, the middle ground for these two body types is the third body type, which is the mesomorph. Now, mesomorphs normally have sort of muscular bodies. They're kind of between endomorphs and ectomorphs. They have a balanced body. They've got broad shoulders, strong arms, and a low body fat. So you sort of look at models with great physiques in magazines, etc., and those are mesomorphs. Personality-wise, they're apparently very active, adventurous, courageous, assertive, risk-taking individuals. They can also often be very aggressive. So that's basically the drift of Sheldon's theory. He's managed to classify personalities, link personalities and body types, and he's ascertained that certain people with certain body types have certain personalities. And what conclusions can we draw from Sheldon's theory? Well, I'm pretty sure as a general consensus, profiling people psychologically based on physical attributes is a very unreliable and also unpleasant experiment, and it does not hold true. The conclusions that Sheldon drew doesn't necessarily hold true in the modern society. You can't always generalize, and state that a person with a certain body type will necessarily have a certain type of personality. Yeah, a few people would agree that sometimes you find these coincidences in real life. You might actually play a game wherein you think of every single person, classify them into body types, and then actually gauge their personalities and see if they match with Sheldon's observations. But as a general consensus, it is a well-known fact that profiling people based on their looks is not a good thing to do, and it can be very unpleasant, and doing so openly in real life can get you in a lot of trouble. Okay, so that was Sheldon's theory, a brief explanation on it, and I thank you very much for your attendance. This is a theory that was requested by a few people, so I thought I would cover it very quickly. Thank you very much, and I hope you continue supporting this channel. You continue liking and subscribing and sharing the word. See you next time in the next video. Thank you very much.